Hello, I hope you're all well. I thought I'd do you another video to talk about some things that help me, but also things that I know help some of you in the community. I've been chatting to quite a few of you on Messenger and Instagram and Facebook, and some of you joining in the group, which is amazing, and others like to do it one-to-one, which is fantastic too. I really enjoy seeing how you're moving forward with your goals and helping you if you've got any challenges. So I've got some notes again just to help me out, stop me wandering. Today I want to talk about journaling daily. This seemed like a massive task to me when I first heard about it. Who has time, eh? But as I'll cover in another video, we all have the time. We just have to create that time on our life shelf to enable us to do it. I probably spend about 5 to 10 minutes a day journaling, so it's a very small portion of time, but the results that I get from it are actually quite big. So I'll just talk about what I do when I do it, and also some of the benefits of that from my point of view to hopefully help you decide whether or not it's something that you'd like to get into. So in the morning, what I do is I open up my folder, I've got a folder, and I rewrite some monthly mini goals that I've got. So I chunk down my 10-year goals into mini goals each month, and I can help you learn how to do that if you want to know. I rewrite them at the top of my journal, and then I choose just 3 actions. This is something that I've learned recently actually. 3 is a good number. I also add some if time actions, so I have a grand total of 5 actions, 3 that I really want to achieve today and 2 that it would be really good if I achieved it, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't. And then in the evening before I go to bed, I pick up my folder and I write a log of what I did. Now this was really revelationary to me because I'm a real to-do list writer, and I often feel like I haven't done enough or I haven't done anything. But actually, when you reflect back on what you have actually achieved in that day, you realise that you have done a lot, and it does help you to be a bit kinder to yourself. Sometimes we feel like we haven't achieved what we said we were going to achieve. So it is good to look back on what you have actually done, even if it's not everything on your list, or sometimes anything. I also log anything that I need to remember to do tomorrow or next week. I have like follow-on actions. I write gratitude in 7 areas, 7 areas of goal setting, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but I will share them with you on a form, I think, in the future in the group. But I look at things like my physical health, my wealth, my spirituality, which for me is more like peace of mind, than my family, and there's a few other things. But I always try and find something that I'm grateful for in each area. And on really, really good days, that comes really easy. On days where I don't feel great, or where I'm having a bit of a meltdown, or something challenging's happened, sometimes that's really hard, and I have to remember to focus on the small things, like the fact that I dealt with a difficult conversation when I didn't really want to. It's about patting yourself on the back a bit, even when the days are a bit rubbish, but also feeling grateful for having the skills to be able to do those things. Sometimes just getting up and getting dressed is an achievement. For me, it's putting my clothes on the right way round and brushing my hair. Often forget to do that. Far too busy for that. I also write down anything that I've learned. I tend to learn a lot in the car when I'm listening to podcasts and audiobooks. So I try and capture that every day at least, because it's so easy, isn't it, to forget. I think about something new that I've learned each day, and that might be something to do with my businesses, something to do with Facebook, something to do with me, anything really, just something that I didn't know yesterday. And this one can be quite hard as well, and I've told some of you about this, as I try and write 7 successes of the day. Sometimes my success list looks very much like my done list when I struggle to find things that I'm proud of achieving. But again, it's really important to focus on the fact that you are moving forward. I write down any ideas that I have. I have a lot of ideas. I've got 2 ideas for the name for my course at the moment, and I'm struggling to decide which one. I might put a poll out on the Facebook group for you to help me with that. I also look at what went well and what didn't go well. So if I planned my day and nothing happened, why was that? How can I make it better tomorrow or the next day? I have had in the past real trouble dealing with my emotions. And actually, I'm so much better at it since I've been journaling, interestingly. And what I do is I write down how I felt, why I felt that way, and then I move on from it. I had a really tough day last week, tears and everything, but actually I was okay with that because I decided that I was going to have one day of that and that was it, done. So it is important for me to notice my emotions, acknowledge them rather than beat myself up for having them. Just let myself feel them and then move on. And I find this journaling technique really helps. I'm meant to write a food log, but I am a bit shy about doing this. It's like I'm lying to myself when I say I've eaten well, because I might forget the odd Caramac or something. But again, it makes you think, tomorrow, am I going to be ashamed to tell myself that I haven't eaten very well? I write a book log. I try and read or listen to one book every fortnight and then infill that with podcasts. So I talk about the book that I'm reading and the key points that I got out of it today. A quote of the day, if something stood out to me on Instagram or something someone said to me, I write that down because you can never remember those quotes when you need them, can you? I also write down how I've reached out to people. Helping people each month is on my goals list every single month. And it can be people that I've reached out to help or people that I've reached out to get help from. I'm really lucky that I've got some great mentors and I can just drop them questions and ask them anything. I also like to record what I've earned today because many of you will know that I'm building, well, I've already built one online business, but I'm building another one at the moment. And it's important for me to keep looking at the numbers, although I'm not very good with numbers. It helps me understand, am I doing well? Am I going backwards? Do I need to scoop this up before it starts going wrong? I used to do that every day and I now do that weekly, but I might go back to doing that every day because when I set goals like I want to increase my sales by 10% this week, it's a bit, you know, I can track that every day and see what I need to do. Do I need to tweak the advertising? Do I need to tweak my Facebook pages, my Instagram things? So I probably need to do that more often than I do. And I also ask myself at the end of each day, am I closer to my goals or have I become complacent today? And so far, I think I've been doing this particular style of journaling for about 2 months. And I think, honestly, I've only said complacent once. And that was a day that I was having a right pity party with myself. And I didn't want to say that to myself again the next day. So I pulled my socks up and I've been closer each day, which is fantastic. So it actually took me a long time to explain what I do. It really doesn't take that long to write it down. I've got a form which I'm tweaking at the moment, and as soon as that form's ready and perfect for me, I'll send it to you and you'll be out in the group and you'll be able to see what works for you and change it if you need to. So it seems quite silly, doesn't it? Spending 5 to 10 minutes a day just writing down your thoughts and things. How is that actually going to help you? Well, do you know what? For me, it's like my boss is ringing me to ask me what I've done today. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't do that, but that's what it feels like. It's like I've got an appointment with myself to recap on my performance of the day. And I actually don't like telling myself I haven't done things, even though I already know. Does that seem weird? Admitting to yourself that you didn't do your best over and over can actually be quite motivating. You just think to yourself, well, all I've got to do is just do this, and then you do it. I've written down here, I timed it yesterday and this morning. It was 2 minutes in the morning today and 7 minutes in the evening, so not even 10 minutes. I don't make detailed notes, I just write down like headlines. I find it helps me to fine-tune my progress and also my workload. I work with a lot of people who suffer from overwhelm, and that can cause them to stop being accountable and stop moving forward. And I do it myself. And what I have learned, and you'd have seen in the group, is that, as I said before, I only set myself 3 main goals for the day. And sometimes they're tiny. It's like tweak my advertising budget and it takes me 2 minutes. But that will move me forward. It will move me closer to my goals. So it is important not to overwhelm yourself. And if you need to, just start with one goal. Just try and build it up, but one mini goal, I mean. But you've just got to get into the habit of achieving these goals. And when you're having an off day, it is good to reflect and think, well, what caused that? Could I have made that different? Was there anything? Was I not feeling grateful? Was I feeling sorry for myself? I think it really helps to be aware of your emotions. And more importantly, it is important to book yourself a day off from your goals. Okay, I try and have a day off every 7 to 10 days where I just sit and slob out or go shopping or do whatever I want to do, and I don't look at my businesses or my groups, or I just take a day out, because you do have to take a holiday from working and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So it's important that you schedule in when you're going to have your relaxation days. Anyway, so that is daily journaling from my point of view. I know there are lots of you in the group that already do journaling. One lovely lady actually has her own journal, and you'll see her on the group as well. So a journal that she's actually published, and it's brilliant. It's all about motherhood, and recording how you feel about that journey as well. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to finalise my daily sheet that I use. I'll post that in the group once it's done. I hope you found this really useful. If you've got any questions about journaling or anything to do with getting accountable, do get in contact with me, either by the Facebook group, the Facebook page, email, anything you want. And if you know anyone that this might be useful to, send them the link. The website's www.gettingaccountable.com. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Have a great day. And that's it from me.